And we are back with a look at the Miami Heat's projected depth chart for the 2012-13 season. And check it out. This is the starting five with which the Heat won the 2012 championship. Chalmers and Wade in the backcourt. James and Battier at forward. Bosch at center. Behind them, the main backups, Norris Cole. Ray Allen brought over from Boston. All the retirement talk about Mike Miller, forget about it. He's coming back. Udonis Haslem playing behind Battier. And then a bunch of bigs behind Bosch. And recently, our Vince Cellini interviewed Shaquille O'Neal, who had these things to say about his former team.
How much will winning a championship affect LeBron's game? Can we see even more of an improvement for him this year?
I think you're going to see him more at ease. And, you know, Pat Riley has always been a wizard with his general manager skills. You know, Dwight is a dominant player. So, you know, what you want to do with a dominant player is just get nice little pieces around him. The piece they had last year, Mike Miller, actually gave them the championship. You know, everybody talks about how great LeBron played, but just think if Mike Miller doesn't have 7 three-pointers. So what Pat Riley did, he went out and got some more shooters, Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen. So I think that makes them the favorite in their division and in the East.
Specifically Ray Allen, what does he bring to this team, the Heat?
Well, Ray Allen already has a championship. You know, he felt he wasn't getting his due in Boston. So, you know, he has a couple years left, but, you know, Ray is the type when he has something to prove, he's going to go out and play well. And their offense, their system is really meant for Ray Allen. Floppies, coming off screens, you shoot the screen, he's going to step back a la Reggie Miller in the corner, shoot the fade. So, you know, Doc Rivers' system and Pat Riley's system was very similar.
I don't have to tell you that things change from year to year with teams, even championship teams. Having said that, do you see them repeating this year?
Yes, I do. I see them because, you know, LeBron has 1, D-Wade has 2. And, you know, now they're just playing for, you know, their legacy.
And the Miami Heat brought the D last year, one of the main reasons they won the championship. Top 5 in the regular season in points against, 92.5. Opposing field goal percentage, very solid if you're in the low 40s. As they were, you're doing serious work. And we all know that the Miami Heat create turnovers and run off of those turnovers. They were 3rd in steals last year in our beloved NBA. Rick Mahorn, Dennis Scott, and Rick Kamla. Let's talk about this Miami Heat defense. They don't win the chip without some grimy D.
No question about it, so I'm going to let Coach Mahorn talk about defense.
Well, you know what about Miami? Their defense is amazing. I tell you, when you got a team like Miami, you got to know your personnel. They go out and execute because they're such a veteran team. They know their personnel. They go out and execute team defense. And with the team defense, you got to have one-on-one individual defense. And I tell you, they're amazing, especially when you got a LeBron James and a Dwayne Wade. Those guys like to get steals. They get in the pass lanes. They're very quick. But one thing that I do want to go over is that when you got the ball, so let's just say...
The Rock is mine?
Yeah, Rock is
mine?
I'm on defense.
You got to be kidding me.
First and foremost, I can't believe he gave up the Rock. And now he's got to play defense.
Come on, baby, I'm ready.
Rick, what I have to do, if I'm checking you, if I get beat at any moment, when the defense sees that I'm getting beat, so if you cross me up, which you never will, 3D goes to help out. What I have to do as a defender, I'm going to sprint over here. If I can't get back to my man, I got to cover D. I got to cover D. Scott's man because it's called help the helper. And if you can't help the helper and sacrifice your body and knowing that you got a team defensive concept, this is what all teams that have veteran ball players, they do. They understand the game, and that's how they execute. So I'll tell you, that's great.
And it's great also, too, Rick, and for you people at home, that this Miami Heat team has really bought into team defense. Anything in this paint is always contested. And they were also one of those teams that take a lot of charges. Mike Miller, Battier, even LeBron took a couple charges last year. So with that all in one is solid team defense.
So let me ask you a question. In terms of, you know, the bubbling of the helping the helper, is it that much more important to come over and maybe leave a guy completely wide open? Is it more important to stop that penetration and leave a guy open?
Only thing that I have to, as you know your personnel, we used to do this every day when we won the championship with Detroit. It was called the shell drill. It was 4 guys on the outside. So what it was, the ball moves around. You position yourself on the court. If the ball's way over there, I'm not going to check my man way over here. I'm going to get in the lane with that 2.9, and then I'm going to come back out of the lane. But I'm watching man and ball. And the thing is to have great peripheral vision where you see man and ball. Always see man and ball keeping your head straight. And as as the ball moves, you move. As the ball comes across the court, now I got to cover out knowing that my man will be the next person to receive the ball. So this is what basketball is all about. And most of the young guys out there, when they understand what this game is about, that's what makes their team better defensively.
Miami forces their tempo by causing turnovers and defending the rim. They apply extreme ball pressure and make disciplined rotations. Their primary coverage defending pick and rolls is blitz, which is the bigs jumping out and changing the direction of the ball handler. In the half court, be alert for James, Wade, and Chalmers shooting the gap and gambling in the passing lanes for steals. Take care of the ball and execute for great shots every possession. Their pressure and hard closeouts open seams and driving angles. Drive off ball reversals and make the extra pass, as it will lead to open shots. Force James and Wade to work to get their points. The weak side must be ready to help, taking advantage of the 2-9 rule, and expect to be in full rotation several times during the game. Also be prepared to play some zone, as it can disrupt their offense.
Look for the Secret Scout on NBA TV throughout the month of October. Kamala Scott Mulhorn. Best case, worst case scenario on the Heat. Let's start with worst case, and you go first.
Well, I look for them to have a solid year. They're coming back, they're focused, but I see them getting all the way to the finals and losing. I think that's going to be the worst case scenario.
I think this worst case scenario, they're going to finish second in the East behind the Knicks.
Really?
Because I think the Knicks got a little something going. But,
yeah, but that preview's coming up.
But I also see them going to the finals and losing.
Okay, how about best case scenario?
Best case scenario, LeBron James has another MVP type year, gets back to the finals and wins another one, repeats.
I see him losing in the finals, but you know, you be flip-flopping all the time. between 20 yards from there to here, he's flip-flopping.
Repeat.
So you've got the Heat falling short, and you've got the Heat repeating.
Got them repeating. I like the additions we talked about with Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, their focus, and LeBron James. Whoa.
See how it all works out.